Hello, hello, hello. Long time no see here on Wednesday Live. I hope you're doing well. We're going to hang out for a second. Let some more people pop on. How is it going? Make sure you post in the chat. Let me know you're here. Hello. It's been a few weeks since we've done a Wednesday Live. There's been a lot going on. I'm going to fill you in on all of the stuff. We're going to hang out for a second. Hello, Suze. Hello, Claire. Hey, what's going on? There you go, Claire. Hey, Melissa, what's going on? So glad that you guys are here today. We're going to make a layout. We're going to be playing with some Felicity Jane goodies. I'm going to talk to you about a couple of things and whatnot. So glad to be back. Hello. Happy to see you. Hi, everybody. Hey, Joanne. She says it's 6 a.m. in Sydney, Australia. Well, thank you for starting your day with me today. So good morning, good evening, good afternoon. So glad you guys are here. Hey, Dottie, what's going on? I'm excited that you're here. Yes. Hey, Trisha from LA. What's going on? Hi, Carol. Glad to be back. I took more than a couple weeks off. Things have been really busy the past couple of months, and I'm going to fill you guys in on all of those things. Let me know, how are you doing today? Go ahead and post in the chat. Also, let me know if you are joining the staff meeting from work. We like to dub this our staff meeting for those of you who are new. By the way, if you are new to the Victoria Marie Scrap Boss community, welcome. I'm Victoria Calvin, owner of Victoria Marie Designs. I'm so glad that you're here. Let me know where you're joining me from today. What are you doing? Are you crafting? Are you working? Are you just hanging out and chilling? What are you doing today on this Wednesday afternoon? So it's been a few weeks since we've done a live, and there's reasons for that. Of course, the last time we did a live, I explained that I was headed out to Arizona to film for Scrapbook.com, which I did, which was fantastic. And then a week after that, my family and I went on vacation to Disney World. That was our second Disney World vacation, and we had a blast. That was a quick trip, and I will tell you that I don't think we'll do Disney World in under 5 days anymore. We went actually for 3 days. We had 3 days at the park, and it was busy. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Before we get going too much, make sure if you are new to the Victoria Marie YouTube channel that you hit the subscribe, click the bell so you'll be notified each and every time I post new content to the channel, as well as going live on the channel. And then if you like the live stream, throw it a thumbs up. That lets YouTube know that you like this content, and that definitely helps out the channel. A couple of announcements before we get started. This weekend we have another Rock Your Stash online virtual crop. It's our March crop, and for those of you who are new, all of my online virtual crops are themed this year around the idea of using your stash. Hence is why it's called Rock Your Stash. And so each crop we will focus on a different aspect of our scrappy stash. So whether it's pattern paper or tools or techniques, that's what we are focusing on in 2022. There are 10 crops that are offered throughout the year. We have one coming up this weekend on the 18th through the 20th. It is completely online, and it's hosted in a private Facebook group. For $9.99, you get access to online challenges, which are themed for this month, is called Use Your Tools. And so all the challenges are themed around that concept. And there are live Zoom scrap and chats. I also teach a small little workshop that usually goes along with the theme of the crop. And this Saturday, I'm going to be doing a workshop on using the We Are Memory Keepers punch boards. So if you have punch boards, or you're thinking about getting punch boards, or you've never seen them before, I'm going to be talking a little bit about that during one of our live Zoom scrap and chats during the crop. And there's prizes and giveaways. So if you want to learn all the details and you want to register, it's $9.99 USD. There is a link in the description which will take you to the event page. It will tell you everything you need to know. The cool thing about the crops, those of you who participated, they already know this, and people are like, the crops are bomb diggity, you got that right. Deborah, you got that right. It's a chance for you to get some things done. We have a lot of people that report that they get a lot of projects done during the crops, which is fantastic. You can come and go as you want to. If you are not available over the weekend, but you want access to the challenges, just register, because you have 3 weeks to participate in the challenges, and the challenges are very, very flexible, and we don't really go by all of the rules on the challenges, so it's super flexible. And then, of course, you're around a bunch of scrapbookers all weekend long from the comfort of your own home. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to pack anything. You don't have to put on a bra if you wear a bra. I mean, do any of those things. You can just come and have fun from the comfort of your home. It's all online, posted in a private Facebook group. So if you're interested, the link is posted down below in the description. Come join us. $9.99. Get you in. We have a lot of fun. Alrighty. Hello, everybody. So glad to see you. So many familiar names joining us. Great. Deborah says she's dusting off the punch boards. I know punch boards are one of those things that it's a tool that I forget about all the time. And well, actually not forget about. I go through phases where I'm using my punch boards and then I put them away. And then I don't think about it for a while. So we're going to be talking about that this weekend. Hey, Cindy, she says, loving the purge videos. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. And speaking of, I have a spring clean series going on here on the YouTube channel. So if you haven't checked that out, there's 2 videos that have been posted in the series so far. I'm going through and I am sort of tidying up and kind of organizing and purging my scrappy space. And then I will be sharing a full room tour at the end of the series with an exciting giveaway it's all themed around organizing your space, so stay tuned for that. So I'll be giving away a really cool thing. So make sure you stay tuned for that. If you haven't checked out those videos, they're available. I'm working on day number 3 today, actually, and that video should go up either today or tomorrow sometime. So look for that to come. And if you're a patron, I'm going to be posting some bonus content about that too. So there we go. Alrighty, so let's get into what we came here to do today. I've got my Felicity Jane kit, which I'm going to unbox real quickly, and then we're going to make a project. The kit came with a really cool stamp set that has hexagon, circles, and half or semicircle images. And when I saw it, I'm like, I got to make a layout with this because this is going to be really, really great. All right, so I'm going to switch the screen. Let's go ahead and get to making. I've got to get back into the practice of doing the lives here because, you know, I've been out of practice for a couple of weeks. Been out of practice. Let me switch my screen so you can see the desktop. That should be popping up for you here in just a few. And I'm going to wait until I can see that. Hey, Paper Bell, she says, I believe I probably have all of the We Are Memory Keepers punch boards. Sadly, only use a few of them. You know, when they come out, when new product comes out, we get super excited about it. We buy all the things, right? And we actually have to use the stuff, you know? We actually have to use the stuff. Okay, let's see here. Here we go. We should be good, I think. I think. So, Felicity Jane kit came in the mail. I actually haven't opened up much of anything out of this kit, so you guys get to see all the cool things along with me. All right, so let's get it started in here. All righty. I'm hoping this is looking okay. Let's see. All right, I think we should be okay. Okay, cool. So I'm going to open the beautiful little black and white box. I did untie it to peek though. All right. So Felicity Jane kit, this one's called Margot. I love Felicity Jane kits. You guys have seen me unbox and use these materials tons and tons of times here on the YouTube channel. So let me get everything out of the box and we'll go through it really quickly and then we will get to the layout. I am going to be doing quite a bit of stamping on today's project. So if you are wanting to get some stamp inspiration, you've come to the right place. So, look at all this goodness. Here's the stamp set that I'm going to be using today. I'm really super excited about the stamp set. So cool. Sue says, I already have kit envy. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to move some of these things out the way and I will go through them. If you are not familiar with Felicity Jane kits, I have been a subscriber to Felicity Jane for a long time. I'm also a Felicity Jane affiliate. I did post a link to the Margot kit, so if you are interested in that, then click on the link to learn more. It is an affiliate link. Costs you absolutely nothing to use when you use the kit to purchase, or use the link to purchase materials. But I do get a small commission anytime that link is used. So it definitely helps out the channel. So I do appreciate that. So here are the gorgeous pattern papers. You get a pack of 12 by 12 pattern papers in the kit if you're not familiar with it. This one's called Margot, and it's really pretty. I love all of these gorgeous colors. You got your standard floral on the back. Got some really nice hearts. Gorgeous. This is called Daisies and Stripes. So there's little tiny, tiny little daisies there in the front. And then B-side, ooh, yes, tone on tone green. Love that. Green on green. I'm loving this. This is called Scallops and Tulips. So nice little scallops here in front. And little tiny tulips there on the back. Gorgeous papers. Notebook and spots. I love a good notebook pattern paper. Let me know if you love pattern paper. Let me know in the chat if you are a pattern paper fiend. I love pattern paper. And then, of course, the dots on the back. We got tiny dots and honeycomb. This is a small, tiny, tiny, teeny, teeny, tiny dots. This would make perfect for a background. Love that. And then we have the honeycomb on the back. I love this green. Green has become like my new favorite color, right? The colors are gorgeous. Sylvia, I agree. The colors are gorgeous. This one's called Grid and Gingham. Love a good gingham. Love it. And then, of course, you get your solid pattern papers. These are double-sided solid. Not pattern solid. Solid cardstock. These are double-sided, so you get a dark color on one side, and then you get a light color on the other side. Okay? So really pretty papers. It's going to be hard to determine which one that I want to use. Okay, next up, let's dig into this. We've got the stamp set, which I love, the Margot stamp set. And as I mentioned, it features the hexagons. So I'm going to do something with these hexagons here. You also have some layering designs that you can put over the hexagons too. You can do some really cool things. There's some circles as well. And then there's a semicircle too, 2 semicircles. So you can do a lot of fun things with the stamp set. Looking forward to using that. Very cool. Then, new to the kits are the 6x6 papers, which is really super fun. These are little cut-aparts. So you can cut these up and use them on your projects, which is great. You get 2 of each sheet. So that's really fun. And it mimics the patterns that come in the kit. So you can do all kinds of fun things. I have an idea for a design for this that I'm going to show on the YouTube channel here soon. So stay tuned for that. So that's a fun little dill bop there. Then, of course, you have your Margot chipboard alphas. I feel that they have done this design before, but in a different color scheme. But I'm here for it. I'm here for it. All right. Hey, Deborah, what's going on? Thanks for popping on. Then we've got the Margot vellum numbers. So let's open that up and see what that's all about. Oh, yeah. I love this. Look how large these are. Probably about 3 inches, I suppose, maybe. Oh, I love these. Oh, goodness, yes. I am here for that. That is so nice, so nice. They do have awesome stamps, and it's a great value because with the kits, you do get a stamp set with every kit. Every kit. I've been subscribing to Felicity Jane for a very, very long time. I was on their design team for about a year or so, and I love their stuff. So I love these vellum letters. These are great. You can sew them on. You can attach them with your tiny attacher. You can use some vellum adhesive if you want. All kinds of fun stuff. Then there are some library pockets. Look at this. They've been doing a lot of these sort of library type themes lately. So you have your labels, and then you have the pockets. This is great for journaling and such. You can make little mini albums out of these. How fun would that be? I love these pockets. You get a good amount of them too. Those are nice. And I love how in Felicity Jane's kits, they do a black and white base to it, which is fantastic. It just makes your projects look really clean and modern. Very nice. Love that. That was so cute. I'm actually going to just stick these right in here. I'm going to definitely use one of those for a project for sure. You also get, and this is not all, folks, You also get 3x4 pocket cards in your kit as well. So those of you who are pocket scrapbookers, or if you just like adding on or using pocket cards on your scrapbook pages, you're going to like this. They're one-sided. They have a grid on the back, design on the front. So this one's Remember This. It's got a stripe. Love that. I love using pocket cards on my scrapbook pages. I'm normally a 12x12 scrapper. Love that. Gingham. So these are just like repeated designs here. Gorgeous floral. Put your journaling on there. Like that. Nice little heart. 22. Chapter 3. The best part. This has lines on it for journaling, which is great. I always appreciate it when the cards have lines on it because I can't write straight to save my life. And then we've got some more that you can do some journaling and some layering and such on. Love that. Very cool. So you get some pocket cards. Very versatile kit. You can use it for a lot of things. And if you haven't followed Felicity Jane on Instagram, please do, because their design team shares a lot of their makes on Instagram. All right, and then you have some die cuts. So let me clear this out the way. Let's see. Not only that, die cuts and some little clips. So let me pull out these little clips real quick in this little glassine bag. Oh, they're pom-poms. So you get these little teeny pom-poms, and then they have a clip where you can connect them if you want. You can use the clip to connect it to your project, but you can sew these little pom-poms together and use this clip to kind of make a little dangle or something like that. So that's cool. That's really, really cute. Really, really, really cute. Love that. For those who are just joining us, hey, what's going on? So glad you're here. Hey. Alrighty. Let me put this back in so I don't lose them. So fun little pom-poms. You can use that to add a little accent. All right, let's get to the die cuts. Here are the die cuts. I'm going to pull them out anyway because I want to work with them. And usually, let's see. Not usually. With pretty much all the kits, you're going to get some kind of die cut element. So here's the girl that comes in the kit. This is Margot. I never use these dolls. I just kind of collect them. I never use them. Flowers, bows, scallop, circle, labels, tags, because you guys know I love my tags. We got some floral elements, some hearts, labels and tags. If you are being enabled right now to check out Felicity Jane, there is a link in the description. It's an affiliate link. It costs you absolutely nothing to use, but it certainly helps support the channel, and I appreciate that. And of course, you'll be supporting a small shop, small business. Okay, here we go. So those are nice, right? Love that. Really, really beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful die cuts. There we go. Love it, love it, love it. Alrighty. So my inspiration for today's layout. Oh, I forgot one other thing. Let's see. There's washi tape, by the way, because, you know, we all need more washi tape in our lives. I'm not going to say no to a roll of washi tape. So let me get it out the package real quick. Love that. Okay, this looks like it is a grid washi tape. There we go. Looks like it might be a peach on peach, something like that. So that's not too bad. Love that. Really pretty. Very pretty. Cindy says I'm very much enabled. You know how we roll around here. All right, so the stamp set was the inspiration. And what I'm going to do is build a layout around that. And I'm thinking I might do some diagonal hexagons. Now, when I saw the stamp set, I said, you know what? I have some hexagon metal dies. And since this year we're all about using the stash and using what we have and that type of thing, you can incorporate your tools and materials that you have in your stash with your new stuff. So I'm going to use this metal die set to create something cool as a background for the project. I also went into Microsoft Word and I created a text box and I used the shape feature, hexagon feature. I drew out a hexagon and then I typed in my journaling. And the journaling is about my daughter. Surprise, surprise. But I'm doing this layout of her. I've been doing a lot of layouts about her and, being a tween and, all the things that involves. And lately when I'm taking pictures of her, she likes to throw me, little funky faces, contorted faces, that type of thing. And so the scrapbook journaling reads, "Oh, the tween years. These days, picture taking involves weird faces and contorted poses. Of course, you think this is hysterical because it is." And so we were at a bookstore this week, and I just was taking some pictures of her. She was looking at books and stuff. And of course, I can't get a straight smile from her to save her life. So I decided, you know what? This is what's going in my scrapbook. I'm going to probably have pages and pages and pages of her and her funny faces. So what I did was I used pick frame, and I printed these photos, 2 on 1 4x6 photo paper. These photos are 3x4, and I wanted to print them small because I want to use my die. This one's from Gemini, and I want to use a metal die to cut out the photos, and I just want to crop in her face. I just want her facial expressions that are going to go on this layout, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing I want to do is get the photos cut out. I already got the journaling, and I typed up the journaling on white cardstock. I also typed it up on vellum because I don't know which way I'm going to go with this. So we'll get there when we get there. All right. Sarah says, "At least you get that. I get scowls." Yeah, I sometimes get that too. Hey, Amy, what's going on? All right. So let me get everything all set up here. First and foremost, let's bring out the letter sorter because that's how we roll. I got a couple little sketches that I kind of sketched out as well. I put my paper. There we go. Make sure that I have everything within view, so I know what I am working with. And I haven't actually decided what the title is going to be, but we'll get there when we get there. Okay, let's do some die cutting. I'm going to bring over my Spellbinders Platinum die cutting machine. I love, love, love this die cutting machine. It's one of my favorites. And let's also move my chair out the way before I trip. Let's also pull out some tape. And we are going to first cut the photos, and I want to use this die here, and it's roughly 2 1/4, and then this die here, maybe to do kind of a white border around the photo, so we'll see where we go. So I'm just going to position this on the focal point of the photo, and I'm going to use some low-tack tape to kind of keep it in place. Okay. This is a great way to, if you don't have something like a Photoshop or whatnot and you want to create shapes out of your photos, use your dies. You just want to make sure that you print your photo small enough that it fits inside the die you want to use. Okay? And usually for me, 3x4 is a pretty safe bet. All right, I'm just using 3 of these photos. There's one that I had to kind of, print twice, but that's okay. I'm going to put it at the diagonal because if you're using a die cutting machine, if you position your element at a diagonal, it helps to distribute and balance out the pressure that you put on your plates. And so your plates don't run out so quickly. So I'm using some low-tack tape, and I'm just going to run this through. Okay. Just going to cut all of these photos out. And depending on the photo paper, you might have to do more than one pass. So this one is good to go. And I'm thinking I might do an 8.5x11 layout versus a 12x12. I'm going to have to think about that for a second. Okay. So position this again over her funny little face. There we go. And let's roll that through. Then I've got one more photo. I forgot to do that diagonal, that's okay. All right, I got one more photo. I just wanted the focal point to be right on her face. Okay, let's see here. What is on the photos? There we go. And then one last photo, this little picture of her right here. Some more tape. Die cut that out. I'm also going to do the same with the journaling, and I don't know yet if I'm going to use the cardstock or the vellum. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Let me tilt that to the side. Here we go. Alrighty. There we are. Okay, so next up, I want to take some white cardstock. What did I do with my white cardstock? Oh, it's over here to the side. Victoria, remember where your stuff is. It's like literally right there. I want to take some white cardstock, and I'm going to take the next size die, and I'm going to cut out 3 hexagons, and I'm going to mount those behind my photo. There we go. And hopefully that'll give me, it should give me a white border. All right, here we go. More die cutting. Oh, come on, wait. Just roll in there. There we go. There we go. Does that give me the border that I want? That might be too much of a white border around there. I don't know if I want that much of a white border, but you know what? I'll cut it out just in case I change my mind. Hello, welcome back, everybody. Yes, we are back. Wednesday Live is back. Hello, hello. So glad you're here. Let me tape this on here. There we go. Come on through. Go. And one more time. Just to give my photo a white border. I like to, whenever I'm doing die cutting, I like to die cut everything first. So then I have everything cut and ready to go. I think that there might be a little bit too much pressure on that die, but I'm not quite sure. This is not a Spellbinders die, it's a Gemini die, so it might be a little bit too thick for this one. I'm gonna go through. Nope, I think it might be a little bit. I might have to run this through my Gemini. Okay, we'll come back to that in a second. I might have to run it through my Gemini. I think that the Gemini die that I'm using is too thick for the Platinum Spellbinders. So I'm going to run it through my Gemini, which is an electronic die cutting machine. So hang out for just a second. Talk amongst yourselves, because my Geminis are across the room. So hold on just a second. Okay, so lesson learned. You want to make sure that the die you're using is compatible with the machine that you're using. I think this particular die was a little bit too thick for my spellbinders, and so I had to switch it up and run it through my Gemini. All right, so I'm going to stick these right back in here. Good to go. And now I've got my photos with a little bit of a white mat behind them. And I'm going to go ahead and adhere these. Set this out the way. And this is going to play along with the hexagon design that I'm going for here. Carrie says, I'm really enjoying the Spring Clean series. Thank you. Cool, thank you. I'm using some new adhesive from Scrapbook.com. If you haven't seen it, they have a whole line of new adhesives, by the way. And I tested them out when I went and filmed a class for them a few weeks ago, and I love it. And so I have a bunch that I've been kind of playing around with. I usually use Tombow Mono permanent adhesive, but which I still do. But I like trying new adhesives out as well. It gives a nice firm hold to your embellishments. It's easy to use. I love anything that's kind of ergonomic. It has kind of these little slip grips here. I love that. And I have small hands, so I need a little bit of support there. Alrighty. So I'm thinking with the size of these photos, I'm thinking I might do 8.5. I originally said 12 by 12, but I'm thinking I might do 8.5, but I'm not sure yet. Okay, so let's pick out a background. And then we're going to figure out how this little situation is going to go. So, since I'm going to be stamping directly to the background, I want to pick out something that's going to be a nice neutral, or at least not have a big, bold pattern on it. And I love this pink. Maybe I'll keep it 12 by 12. That'll give me a little bit more space. And what I'm thinking is I'm going to have my photos like this, and then I'm going to come in with the stamps and fill out the open spaces with the stamps, just using some black ink. And I'm also thinking maybe I will use this floral as a background. I have so much Felicity Jane paper. I just want to, like, whenever I have an opportunity to use some stuff, I just want to use it up. Okay, so let's go ahead and build a background around this. So this tape dispenser, thank you for asking that. I don't know where this came from. I had a friend send this to me from Japan. So from a shop in Japan somewhere. I'm pretty sure you could probably find something similar to this, you know, where you're from or maybe other places. But I don't actually know where she got this from. But it does hold 3 tapes, and I use it for my low-tack tape. So, great question. Alrighty, let's go ahead and get the branding strips. So I chose the dots and honeycomb. And I am using, you might notice, I have a Creative Memories trimmer. I love this thing. This is great. It cuts like butter. I love it. Alrighty, I'm cutting off the branding strip here. This particular trimmer comes, you can purchase different styles of trimmer blades, which are pretty cool. I'm actually going to come back to this one. I'm going to trim it down to maybe 11 inches. It's a rotary blade, which I love. I haven't had a rotary trimmer in quite a while. So this has been fun to play with. Okay, let's set that to the side. Let's bring this back over here. Love how that floral just kind of pops behind that. Also too, I'm not going to gut the page. Sometimes people ask, well, why don't you gut the center and then save the pattern paper? I am this year focusing on using up as much pattern paper as I possibly can. I just went through, and those of you who are watching my Spring Clean series, I just went through and got rid of like a thick, thick stack of pattern paper. And I do not wish to collect tons and tons and tons of pattern paper. I just don't. And I love it. I love me some pattern paper, but I just don't want stacks and stacks and stacks of it. So I have decided that I'm going to use as much of my pattern paper as I possibly can. So that's what I'm going to do. I want to make sure I'm positioning the camera so you guys can see this. So I think I want to put my photos something like that. Okay. And then I want to come in with my journaling. And I printed the journaling on vellum. And I also printed it in white. So I'm going to just trim these out real quick. Thank you, Danny. People ask me, what do I do with the extra vellum after I print on it? It goes into my vellum scraps, and I use it for other projects. I use up my vellum, and I use up a lot of my scraps, actually. Okay, so let me just cut these out real quick. And let's see here. And when I printed this, I made sure that I kept the border around the hexagon, so I knew where I needed to cut the hexagon. I could have also cut it out. I can't talk today. Y'all, it's been forever since I've done a live. I could have also cut the hexagons out with the die as well. But I'm just going to cut it out with my scissors. I can't talk. I'm out of practice, guys. I'm out of practice for the lives. Totally out of practice. Okay, here we go. So, I've got vellum, which is an option, or, let me cut out the white real quick. And then you guys can tell me which one you like best. How about that? I'm trying to cut straight. I'm one of those people, I can't cut straight even if you give me a straight line to cut. I just can't do it. I don't know what's wrong with me. I cannot cut straight. I have to like concentrate. I can't talk and cut straight at the same time. That's just asking way too much of me. I probably should have just used the die, but that's okay. Which you also can do, right? You can type up some journaling or cut out a whole bunch of your hexagons and then type up your journaling and then layer it on the hexagon. You can do that too. Just trying to make sure I have that straight. Okay, so I don't know if I want white or vellum. What do you guys think? Let me know. Are you team vellum journaling or team white cardstock? Let me know. Post in the chat section. Team vellum or team cardstock? And while you're doing that, I am going to straighten up a little bit. And I think that the title is going to be, really? Like, really? You're making those faces again? All right, let me know if you're team vellum or team white cardstock. Which one are you? Meanwhile, I'm going to get some acrylic blocks out. Just a few. Alrighty, looks like a lot of vellum. Vellum for this one. Okay. Pop in your vote. White cardstock or vellum? Pop your vote in the chat section. Which one do you think? Vellum is also a really good option if you want the look of a typed scrapbook page, but you don't actually want to type on your page, or maybe you don't have a printer to print out, let's say a 12 by 12 layout. I do have a large format printer from time to time. When I'm feeling fancy, then I will format my journaling on the page and just print it out. But before I had a large format printer, I found vellum to be a really easy solution. All right, I think vellum wins. Vellum wins. Alrighty, so we're going to probably put the journaling up here. Just again, leaving some space. And I have these little hexagons that I can come in and kind of stamp in, but I also want to make sure that I leave room for the journaling. And I also want to play around with some of this pattern paper. So with the 6x6 squares, I'm going to now turn to my tonic hexagons because they have more shapes. And I'm going to see if I can find a shape, find a size that'll work. So I think it'll be fun to bring in some pattern paper elements to this. I'm just kind of auditioning them. Okay, so I like this little size here, which would be fun to incorporate some more pattern paper in there. Okay, so I like that. And then it'll also give us a spot to pop in some embellishments and stuff too. Not a bunch of die cuts with this one, so we'll see how that goes. All right, so let's play with some pattern paper. Let's continue to play with dies. Let me put this die back in the bucket so I don't lose it. And this job calls for my small die cutting machine, so let me grab that. All right, let's get the trusty Sizzix Sidekick, because I like using that when I'm trying to die cut small things. All right, so this 6x6 paper, I think I'm going to choose like this little square, this blue here. This 6x6 paper is something that's new to Felicity Jane, which I think is really cool. And also, the cool thing about smaller papers is that the patterns are smaller. So, essentially, you can do small designs like this and still get a great full pattern on your project, which is why I like using 6x6, even 6x8, 8x8, all of those paper pads you can put to use for stuff like this. So I'm just going to run this through my little sidekick here. I'm going to pop out a lot of these little hexagons. This repetitive style of scrapbooking is so much fun. It makes for a really nice cohesive design. All right, so how about we grab this blue here too. Now, if you're one of those people that you get something like this, like these little squares, and you're like, I don't even know what to do with this. What do I do with these little squares? I have another fun layout that's going to be coming up soon. I'm going to show you a really sweet idea, and it actually wasn't my original idea. I saw it on a YouTube video rather, and I thought, that is brilliant. So I'm going to be sharing that with you guys. I love it when I'm learning new ideas and techniques from other crafters. When you have scrapbooked for a long time, it's sometimes hard to think of inspiration on your own, thinking of design ideas and that type of thing. So it's great to be able to watch YouTube videos and look at Pinterest and whatnot to get some ideas. And 9 times out of 10, an idea will spark another idea for me, and I've gone totally in left field, which is what I love. And of course, I always give credit to wherever I find ideas from. All right, so we are going to just cut some more of these. If you haven't used your die cutting stuff in a while, now's the time. Use your stash. Let me get to, and use your tools. Use your tools. That's the theme of this weekend's crop, is use your tools. When's the last time you used your metal dies on a scrapbook project? Now here's where this comes in handy. So you know these little squares here, and they have little text box. You can isolate that by using a die and just cutting that out. You can do the same thing. With your, oh goodness, what am I thinking? Your pocket cards, right? You can cut out die cut stuff from your pocket cards. How many of us have tons of pocket cards and we don't ever use it, right? Oh, look, Bree Calvin is in the house. Not hexagons, it's supposed to be octagons. True. Oh my goodness. Okay. That just reminded me of the kids show Octonauts. Octonauts. All right, here we go. Let's do this. Cut that out. And put it through. There we go. More and more. I just love this. I love this so much. I think I'm going to do one more. Just for fun. Let's do this one here. I love, love, love these small shapes. They're just so fun. There we go. And then I can just isolate the floral in there. Put my little low-tack tape down. And here we go. Alrighty. There we go. Just a few of those. Just a few. We'll see how we feel about the rest. Okay. So, I'm trying to think if there's any more die cutting I want to do. So we're doing a lot of die cutting today. Let me grab my little papers. And so I still have a few left over that I can use for other projects. Just going to slip that right back into the plastic if I can find it. There we go. I don't want to lose this die, which is why I keep them on metal sheets because, you know, I have lost dies. I have a die that I don't even know where it's at. I have totally lost dies. I totally have. I will be working on a project and I'm just going and blowing and I start cleaning up and that die gets slipped somewhere. Don't know where it's at. It's gone forever. I had a cute little cloud die, which I think, or was it a stamp? Stamps and dies sometimes I have lost. Suze, I don't know if you're still on here, but I remember the collection you made years ago for Felicity Jane and it had a cute little cloud. And I lost that cloud stamp. Like, I have no clue where it's at. I was so sad because it was my favorite thing. Okay, so now we've got those cut. Let's kind of get the lay of the land here. I want the journaling up there. Kind of want the photos sort of close together. And then I can start putting in our shapes here. And you know what else would be cute on this? If you did some stitching. That'd be cute. Loving that. Also, there we go. That's cute. Then I can also break it up a little bit. Like I can bring some down here. Maybe do more of a vertical presentation. Let's see. I'm just kind of spitballing here. And then I can stamp in, add some stamped ones, and then maybe do the title right here. Can do something like that. Kind of breaks that up. And then I can do the title in the middle. Because I think I want the title to read, really? Question mark. Oh, and it does have a question mark, so that's cool. So, really? Question mark. And then maybe do like a subtitle underneath that, but I need to find a stamp for that. So, okay, so let's get back to this here. So now, because I'm wanting to stamp on the page, I need to figure out where the stamps are going to go. And this stamp set also, it has the solid, the outline, and the designs to go in the middle. So, I think I'm going to do like one here, one here, one here, or maybe here. Something like that, or maybe I want to make sure that I have room for the title. So those letters. Let's see if that'll work. Yeah, I'd still have room for the letters, but I don't want to crowd it. So maybe here, here, here. So if I'm going to stamp here, I'm going to stamp here, I'm going to stamp here. That's going to give the visual triangle that I'm looking for. That would have been cool for it to be off the page, but I didn't design it that way. So maybe here. I really like the way that looks, that kind of vertical presentation going down. I really like that. Let me move this up just a little bit so you guys can see. I really like that. Yeah. So Joanne, I got, or Joe, sorry, I got the magnetic sheets from Amazon. And it's cheaper to buy them that way. And then you can cut them up to the size that you need. Okay, so I'm liking this. I'm liking this. So let's go for it. Let's just do it. Do it, do it. All right, we know that I love Dimension because Dimension is life. Dimension is life. I got that from Laura Fedara. She's a card maker, and she always sings in her videos, Dimension is life. Alrighty, so let's, actually, no, before we do that, let's do stamping first, and then we'll pop stuff up, because then the popping up of stuff will get in the way of the stamp. So, I'm going to use my acrylic block from Catherine Poehler. I'm also going to use some VersaFine black. I could come in and use some ink colors that coordinate with the kit, but I like that pop of black. I think it's just so nice on a layout. And then I think that I'll probably play with some of these designs here, like the floral and whatnot. So I'm going to go ahead and load up an acrylic block with the stamps that have the designs on them and maybe this little dot. Now people ask, why do you need more than one acrylic block? Well, this is why. Because when you're doing stamping like this, it's nice to have more than one acrylic block so that you're not having to switch out your blocks in between stamps. Okay, that's the reason why. All right, I'm going to do a little testy test. You usually don't have to test Felicity Jane stamps because they're on photopolymer and it's a really good high quality photopolymer stamp. So I'm going to just, uh-oh, there's some in the middle there. Let me get my stamp, a little cleaner thing. This is supposed to be the outline stamp, not the solid image, so I just want to make sure that I'm not pressing too hard. Otherwise, it's going to get that middle part of the stamp, and I don't want that. I don't think that that outline is going to be quite deep enough. Let's see if I can do it now. Yep, nope. I'm going to have to wipe it off. Okay. No problem. No big. Let's try that again. Good thing I tested that out before I committed it to the thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wipe it off in the middle because this is supposed to be the outline. See if I can just go around it. Let's see how that works out. Okay, okay. So I'm just going to have to be careful with how I stamp that. So let me move these to the side. And I have my elements where I want them. I think what I'll do, however, is go ahead and tack these down. I'm going to use my Scrapbook.com adhesive. Oh, come on. Oh, Victoria, you're doing it wrong. Lord Jesus. Hi, my name's Victoria. This is the first time I've ever used adhesive ever in my life. Oh my God. Okay, so I have the elements where I want it. I'm just going to go ahead and put the paper elements down, and then I'll put the, or the smaller shapes down, and then I will tack down the photo. So I want to pop those up. Alright, here we go. I love that I put that 6x6 paper to use because now I've got these smaller patterns, which are fantastic. I think I might actually switch it up. Put this one down here. And then this one up here. You know, shapes, playing with shapes has been around for a very long time in scrapbooking, and it's fun to have a more modern take on using shapes and stuff on a scrapbook layout, right? Okay, so we're going to do here. Now, before I adhered these down, I could have stitched around the border of them, could do a lot of fun things. Just want to move that to where the flower's up. Okay. Alrighty, cool. So that's that. Oh, and then I'm just going to pop a little bit of adhesive behind my vellum. Now, I use the Hero Arts layering vellum, and I do use my runner adhesive behind the vellum. You do want to give it a little minute or two to dry when you print it out on your computer, if that's what you're using it for. There we go. There's that. But you can't see the adhesive behind the vellum, which is great. Most adhesives, which is why I love it. Okay, so we've got that going on. Cindy says she got her magnetic sheets from a sign shop. They cut it to the size you want. That's fantastic. That's a really good idea. Aubrey Jane, we all knew you were doing it wrong. They will just cut. We just didn't want to tell you. You know what, Aubrey? If you're going to participate, you're going to have to be nice. You can't be rude. Don't be rude, Aubrey Jane Calvin. Those of you who are new to the Victoria Marie YouTube channel, Aubrey is my better half. Also my arch nemesis, and occasionally will come on live to monitor the comments. Okay, so I went ahead, I'm going to ink up my stamp, and I'm just going to come, I think, where did I want that at? Oh, crap. Now I'm trying to remember where I want it. I'm going to put one over here. Just commit to that. Bam, there we go. And I'm going to ink up that stamp again. I love stamping so much. Okay. And then I think we want one over here. And then I'm going to move one over here, or stamp one down at the bottom. And I'm just going to take my little stamp, little chamois cloth thing. I'm going to get inside the stamp because the outline, the center of the stamp is not deep to prevent the solid section from also stamping an impression. So I'm just going to clean up the middle of it just a little bit. And then go around the edges. I could use a smaller stamp pad too to do this. But I'm trying to avoid that center spot. So it could just be it just wasn't cut, the stamp wasn't cut deep enough during manufacturing. All right. What I'm trying to do is prevent that from happening. Yeah. Okay. So this is going to go right here. There we go. Alrighty, let's bring in the centers and do a little design in the center. Bree says, fine, I'm leaving. There's probably a new video somewhere about the Star Trek Discovery season finale. Aww. Oh, just kidding. Just like marriage, you can't get rid of me. That is so true. I can't. You're right. I can't. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp the pattern image right in the middle of the shape. I love this. This is so awesome. This is like my favorite thing ever. All right, so how about we do a floral one over here. I'm going to have to get close, y'all. Y'all might see some afro action. Oh, that's pretty. Oh, I love that. Okay. I'm going to clean this off. Then let's bring in the other shape. This one's dots, or the other pattern rather. This one's dots. I thought I had another one loaded up. Maybe not. Let's get the stripe one going. Let me put that on another acrylic block. I have tons of acrylic blocks for this reason. This reason. Alrighty. I think we'll do this one over here. Awesome. And then let's bring in the line one over here. So if you're new to stamping, I recommend starting with a basic set of acrylic blocks and then adding as you need them. Okay. There we go. Let's go ahead and pop up the photos now. Let's do that. Then if I need to do any repeat stamping, my stamps are loaded up, ready to go. So that's another reason why I use more than one acrylic block. Okay, so let's pop up the photo. We're going to use just some foam adhesive for that. I like to use the 3L foam adhesives because they're easy to take off the release paper. I bought some foam adhesive once and I could not get the release paper off. Like, what is going on? I could not understand why it was so difficult to get the release paper off. Pop that one up. These silly photos. My kid cracks me up. Cannot take a serious photo to save her life right now. I remember when she was like teeny weeny, and she used to love taking photos, and she would pose, and she would do the whole nine and whatever. And now that she's a tween, I don't get that kind of action anymore. All right, so let's go ahead and put that down. And then love my foam. Put that there. Now it's like an act of Congress to try to get her to do a regular smile for a photo. She won't do it. Okay, so let me put this here. Eyeballing that. Not a perfect science for me and my layouts. Okay, so now we've got the first part of that done. We've got our stamping done, which I am really, really loving the addition of the stamping on there. And I thought about doing maybe another hexagon like up here to maybe balance it out. How would I feel about that? Like doing one here at the top? I think I do. Let's do one more. Let's stamp some more. Also, this is a really great design if you are someone who's hesitant about stamping on a scrapbook layout, maybe because you're scared of messing it up, or maybe you're not sure where to put the stamp at. But doing a simple design like this where you're only stamping like accents on the layout is a perfect way to go. By the way, I'm using VersaFine Onyx Black ink. I don't know if I mentioned that or not. All right, so I'm going to get this one inked up again. And I think we're going to come up with, I think we're going to do dots over here. I'm just going to wipe up the middle section. Just a little bit. Just trying to be careful with that. And then I'm just going to bring this down. I think we need one right over here to kind of stay in alignment. Press that down. I didn't get quite the solid image that I wanted there, so I'm just going to take my Scrapbook.com journaling pen, which are fantastic. I'm just going to fill in that line just a little bit. Nobody will know, just us. It'll be our little secret. There we go. I could leave that open just the way it is, but I'm actually going to come in with a little dot stamp. I'm going to flip this around so I can get it. Get it. There we go. And I think that balances that out. So we've got this line going here. Alrighty. Cool. Now it's just the title and the finishing touches and we'll be done with this project. Also, I wanted to mention, I'm going to figure out how I can download the footage from the lives and have an edited version, because I know some people, they don't want to go back and watch the full live, and I know there's some YouTubers who do that. So I'm going to figure out how to download the footage, and I will edit the video, pare it down to just the process. Keeping it real, Victoria, that's right. Keeping it real. I'm liking the way this is looking. Let's go ahead and pop on a title. We've got stamping, we've done, goodness, we've stamped, we've die cut. We've done all kinds of fun things today. Why not? Do it all. Do all of it. Looking great. Thank you, Suze. Thank you. We did have daylight savings time change, Anatella. You're right. It screws us up all the time. It messes us up. We did. We certainly did. All right. So now I'm going to take the font that comes with this kit. My goal is to use the materials in the kit first. And I'm going to spell out the word really. Let's get 2 L's. Now, I'm going to warn you about these letter stickers with the kits. The adhesive is super strong. I'm just tapping it down. Okay, so I'm just going to gently move this down just a tiny bit because I want to get the question mark in here. Trying to get it as centered as I can. I don't always do a good job of doing that. Actually, I want to switch this out for a different E. Okay, let's see. Just pulling it up super gentle. It's like I have to be quiet while I'm doing it. Super gentle. The adhesive that they use, whoever they use for manufacturing their letters, oh my god, this adhesive is really tacky. Like it sticks really well, better than a thicker, for sure. I'm gonna be very careful, very, 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 very careful. Oh, 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 oh. I should have put this on wax paper, to be honest, or wax, a piece of wax. So there we go, really. Ooh, boy, that worked out. Then I think I also want some kind of subtitle there, too, like here. Let me look. Let's see. I've been organizing, reorganizing, and I put my extra Felicity Jane materials for my mega kit into this plastic container. And I also have some stamps in here, so I have more than just this stamp set. I'm trying to see if there is a stamp that I can use as a subtitle. Let's see here. Lots of stamps. Lots of stamps. Okay. If you go back into my live, go to the playlist for my lives, there is a live where I make a Felicity Jane mega kit. So if you're interested in that, go check that out. Alrighty. So what I'm thinking, I'm going to use the Mari stamp set from the Mari kit. And I'm trying to decide what phrase I want to use. So there's things like my favorite, beautiful, awesome, enjoy the little things, life right now. Maybe I'll put life right now. Because really this moment, no. Today's a good day, everyday moments. I'm going to do life right now because really that is what our life is right now, is my kid making really funny, silly faces. I'm going to put that right here just to bring in a little something, something to ground out that title. Her making funny faces, her having very distinct opinions about stuff. I mean, you know, the whole nine. And I want to make sure that I document all of this. Let me test the stamp out real quick. Yeah, that'll work. Life right now. And it's just small enough to be a really good subtitle. Okay. All right. Yeah, I did bring out another acrylic block too. You know how we're rolling today. Okay, so let's look at some embellishments here. Let's see what we've got. It's not a layout without a tab. You know, I'll find a spot to put a tab in a heartbeat here. Let's see, up here, to the side, behind the photo, at the bottom, maybe not. This might not be a tab type of day. This might not be a tab type of day. I like this flower. That's a good one. There's not as many die cuts that came with the kit, so I want to try to use what I have first before I start digging off in this stuff. That'd be a good spot to put the date. Could also put it over here. Bring in some green to that side. You don't want to run the risk of it being too busy. Let me move some stuff out the way real quick. I bought this little spinny organizer thing for just moments like this, when I need to clear off my space. There we go. And it just spins. I got it at Joann's. Alrighty. Good grief. I'm looking in my Felicity Jane stash because I think that what I'm looking for is something smaller scale to go on my little hexagons here. So let me see what I've got. Move this around. So here's my Felicity Jane stuff. And I'm looking for just smaller embellishments. Just general shapes of things that I think will work. Used to be we would get a little bit more than what we have, but that's okay. I can work with it. So I'm just picking out an assortment of different stuff. There's no rhyme or reason. Just digging through to see what I have. This is why I like keeping some stash at hand, because you just never know. You never know what you might want to use. And since I have smaller scale elements on the page, I want to scale down, or at least the hexagons, I want to scale down things just a tiny bit. Okay, so let's start there. Okay, so whenever, where'd my little thing go? Oh no, I'm losing stuff. Here we go. Whenever I'm working on a project, or not so much working on a project, but whenever I'm thinking about the elements, the items that I have in my stash, I like to keep things around that are super, super functional. Kind of like that there. Okay. Let's bring in, see, that works. That works. Let me see what else I have in here. Okay, that's a contender. Alrighty, let's put these here. So I like to keep a little amount of stash. And that little amount of stash comes in handy for stuff like this. Just kind of auditioning some things around here. Because you never know when you need it. Now, that doesn't mean that I like to keep every single thing. I really want something there. I kind of do, but I don't know. These are from the Elizabeth kit from, oh God, 2019. What about one of these charms? That's cute. Let's see. I'm just kind of laying these out to see what I have. Of course, some enamel dots. Let's see what else we got. Let's go to this Margot kit. So anytime that I'm designing something and I don't have enough of something, like in this particular kit, I love the stamp set, but there's not a ton of embellishments to use for this scale of layout or the elements that I'm doing, then I just, you know, reach for my extras. See, this works much, much better. Let's do this. So I reach for my extra embellishments and I'm good to go. I'm thinking and talking at the same time, if you hadn't noticed. So this is a perfect opportunity to use those little tiny, tiny embellishments. Let's see. Maybe that'll go there. Doo-doo-doo-doo. What else? What else? I've got some. I feel like I want another metal here. And then maybe one down here. And then something up this direction. I have a yellow heart, but yellow's not really in this layout, so I'm not trying to go there. Adding in new colors. And let's see. I'm liking the way this is coming out. I know that I'm almost there in terms of finishing it. So let's keep going. I'm going to do this here. Okay, these little charms. And then I need something here. Is this green too big? Yeah, that's a little bit too big, and it just kind of like clashes with that. Oh, that's subtle. That'll work. And I like that they're not all going to have something on. Like these two won't have anything on it. Okay, so I'm thinking I like that. Wish I had another label situation going on. Maybe I can make one. Okay. Beautiful, thank you. Yes, would think you'd have, I'll have to agree. Yeah. Circles would be a nice, why doesn't anyone use ovals? Oh my goodness, Brie. Actually, I don't like ovals that much. I don't usually go to ovals. Yeah. Yeah, Deborah, you should totally do this with circles. Absolutely. Maybe I can try one with ovals. The ovals are usually not my jam, but maybe I could try one. Stretch my design skills a little bit. All right, so I use these Denise charms from the Denise kit. The cool thing about a Felicity Jane kit is that they all coordinate well together, so that's perfect. And then I use some embellishments from some older kits as well. I might come in and do these epoxy dots. I think I'm going to stick with this. So these already have adhesive on them, now that I thought through all of that. And they have a little opening here where if I wanted to put some fibers there, I could. Let's go ahead and pop down the chipboard hearts. I'm going to use some Barely Art liquid glue to do that, because I feel that it's just a stronger hold. I love Barely Art. If you haven't heard of it, it is a fantastic adhesive. If anyone can do ovals, you can. I'm going to have to challenge you to do ovals. You guys can thank Aubrey for that idea. Aubrey, I don't let you use my materials. No, I do not. I'm going to get a glue dot for this label that says memories, and I think that I'm going to do another label here. I just don't know what that's going to be yet. There's that. Let's go ahead and add some adhesive there. For those of you who have a hard time working with your smaller embellishments, this is a really, really, really good technique to do so, right? Layering it on other smaller embellishments and kind of creating a cluster or combination of elements, because all together it looks great. When you start clustering smaller elements, if you just have small elements in a cluster and a page that's designed a little bit differently, then it looks kind of awkward. You know, it looks like it's just too small. Okay, so I got that. Let's grab a glue dot. Out of the mini that I have. I have so many glue dots, y'all. I've got so many. I was sent some for a project that I was working on recently, and I have tons of adhesive. Like, you can never have enough adhesive in my book. You know, particularly if you scrapbook a lot. Are there really oval stamps? I was just kind of joking. I believe there are, honey. There should be some on the market. Oval stamps, oval dies. I do have an oval die set. For sure. Okay, so there's that. Just use some Zots Bling by ThermoWeb. And let's finish this out with some epoxy dots. And these are a perfect color. This is not even from the same collection. This is just from my stash. So I think I'm actually just going to kind of pop them here, there, and everywhere. Oops. And maybe one over here. Just a nice little added touch of texture. Here, here. Let's do one over here. And then maybe bring it down here. That seems like it crowds it. Come on, little dot. Okay. Come on, little dot. Let's go. Let's go. You're off the page. I'm trying to think. I don't want 4, I'd want 3. So maybe not one up here. This is me working out the design here to see if I'm even going to keep these on. Sometimes enamel dots and epoxy dots work, and sometimes they don't. I'm not sure if this is going to work for me or not. Come on, little dot. Little dot's like, it's not my fault, I'm just a dot. I don't know if I like that. I really don't. I don't know if I like that or not. I think it doesn't really add anything to the page. I thought it would, but I don't think I like it. I don't think it adds anything to the page. Okay, I'm not going to overthink this. I can't overthink it. I can't do it. All right, let's, oh, come on, little dot. Let's go. I'm fighting with the dots. Today, I fight with the dots. Only crafters understand that. I might fool around with this a little bit more. I like the idea of having those little dots there, but for some reason, I feel like it just kind of cluttered up the place a little bit. Come on, little dot. Seriously? I'm fighting with these little dots today. Like, no, I want to stay on the page. Okay. This needs something else. I just don't know what it is. But then it's also at that sweet spot where it's like, maybe it doesn't need anything at all, you know? It's at that sweet spot right now. I love a clean, simple design, and I'm just inclined to just keep it like this. Because looking at it here, live, in studio, it looks fantastic. It looks just fine. But then there's a part of me that's like, well, what else could you do with it? And I think I'm just going to leave it the way that it is. I think that's it. I'm not going to touch it. I thought about maybe doing some like stitching around it, maybe doing faux stitching, but even then, guys, I don't know. I'm so torn. I think I'm just going to leave it. I'm going to leave it for now. My thing is, if you're not sure, just leave it alone. Let it be what it is. Just let it be what it is. All right, so we've got a 12 by 12 layout using the Felicity Jane Margot collection, or Margot Kit rather, and I love this stamp set. I'm definitely going to be getting a lot of use out of the stamp set. This is the type of basic stamp set that I think every crafter needs in their stash because it is so functional. With these layering stamps, they're fantastic. So created a background using some pattern paper from the kit, printed my journaling, cut that out as a hexagon, got my photos in the hexagon shape, stamped, did some die cutting, used some small embellishments from my stash since I didn't have a ton in the kit this month. And I think that this is nice and clean. I think I'm not going to touch it. I think I'm just going to leave it alone. Cindy says, maybe that's my problem. I add too much. You know, sometimes you just have to step away from it. Barb says, it looks great as it is. Looks fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Becky says, I think it's perfect. Thank you so much, Becky. Hey, Becky, what's going on? Hello. It doesn't need anything else. It doesn't need anything else. It's fine. It's fine just the way it is. We're just going to leave it the way it is. Alrighty, so there we go. 12 by 12 layout using the new Margot collection, Margot Kit from Felicity Jane. If you're interested in this kit, there is a link down below. It is an affiliate link. It's free for you to use, but I do get a tiny little bit of kickback there. If you do use the link, it helps support the channel and Victoria Marie Designs. I certainly appreciate it. If you are wanting to get into some scrappy goodness by way of a virtual crop, make sure you check out the virtual crop that's being hosted this weekend. Rock Your Stash online virtual crop. All the crops are themed based on using your stash, and this month's crop is all about using your tools. And I used my tools, guys. I used my tools today. I used my die cutting machine. I used my stamps, my acrylic blocks. I did all the things today, so I think that's fantastic. If you are inspired by this, tag me on Instagram, hashtag Victoria Marie Scraps. Share it in our Victoria Marie Facebook group. There's a link to the Facebook group as well. So we want to see all the things. We want to see all the things. Let's see. If you're not sure, just leave it alone, says Bree. Good advice for crafting and hiking. Well, thank you, babe, for that. If you guys are needing some hiking advice, there we go. That is too funny. Let's see. Carol says, sometimes you just have to walk away. If it needs something else, it'll come to you later. Absolutely. Because then what happens is we start adding stuff and we're like, no, we didn't want to do that. And then we mess it up. So there we go. All right, folks, thank you so much for joining me live today here on the Victoria Marie YouTube channel. We'll be back on March 30th for another live. Next Wednesday is my birthday, so I'm going to be taking some time off to enjoy, and by time I mean just a couple of days, to enjoy my birthday. And the lives going forward are going to be every other week. That will allow me some time to work on some other projects. I'm going to do a scrappy chat where I talk about it, but we'll be doing lives every other Wednesday going forward, so I can have enough time to work on some other projects and whatnot. But we're still going to go live. I'm not going to not do the lives, but we're still going to go live. We've been going strong since 2020, so we're going to continue to do the lives here on the channel. Mary says, how's your Cricut? My Cricut's fantastic. I did take it out the box. I have used it a couple of times, and I have some content planned where I'm going to be using the Cricut, so you guys will be able to see that here on the YouTube channel. Before you go, thank you, Barb, so much for reminding everyone to give this a thumbs up if you have enjoyed today's live. I always love going live with you guys. It's just so much fun. And I know I enjoy watching lives because I'm always learning something new from other people. So I hope that you have been inspired to bust out those dies and your stamps and create something awesome on a scrapbook page. All right, folks, until next time, I'll see you in another week or so. Have a great day. If you have any questions about the design today, pop them in the comment section and I will respond as soon as I can. Have a good one, everyone. Bye-bye.